It's
Okay.
5 p.m. here.
Okay.
I see lots of people.
Okay, dear friends, thanks a lot for joining us today. It has become a good tradition to take our partners, preparation centers, and their students on a round the world journey and meet secret Santas from all over the globe. And this year is not an exception. So, dear passengers, welcome on board Cambridge Assessment English Airlines Christmas flight number 2021. Flight attendants Alex and Yulia will be more than happy to assist you during the flight. We are currently third in line for takeoff and are expected to be in the air in approximately 10 minutes' time. We ask that you please fasten your seat belts at this time and secure all your belongings in front of you in case you become too emotional during the flight. If you are seated in an emergency exit row near the fridge, please make sure you follow healthy diet recommendations. Smoking is prohibited for the duration of the flight. And now, dear passengers, please direct your attention to the monitors in front of you as we review the emergency procedures. Over to you, Yulia.
Thank you, Alex. Dear passengers, we have prepared some notice to travelers. Please use Google Chrome or an official webinar app, webinar.ru. If you cannot hear the presenter, you have some issues with the slides or video, please refresh the webinar page or reconnect to your internet network. Be an active participant, provide feedback, and ask questions. This webinar, this flight, will be recorded, and the recording of our flight, of our meeting and event will be shared with you shortly. So it will be added to our YouTube channel and you will receive a link. Thank you very much. Enjoy your flight.
Thank you, Yulia. Dear passengers, we are now ready for takeoff. I am passing the mic over to our captain, Елена Markova, the head of Cambridge Assessment English Moscow Representative Office.
Hello, the captain is speaking. 2021 has been another year of change, filled with lots of challenges, but lots of exciting opportunities. Do you happen to know that the Cambridge Dictionary has chosen perseverance as the word of the year? You, my dear colleagues, dear teachers, learners, you have demonstrated that quality in abundance. And despite numerous challenges you have faced, successfully prepared your learners for Cambridge exams. Your determination, your dedication is much appreciated by your learners and by Cambridge Assessment English. We would like to thank you for your tireless efforts, your flexibility, your commitment. And of course, we wish you happy and restful holidays when you get just some time for a pause. Thank you to all our inspiring exam and preparation centers, to our teachers, our parents, and learners. And now, please watch the thank you message from our Chief Executive, Francesca Woodward, specially recorded for you, dear colleagues.
Hi everyone, I'm Fran Woodward and I'm Chief Executive of Cambridge Assessment English. And I'd like to start by saying a big thank you for everything you've done for your learners and candidates this year. We know 2021 has brought us some new challenges, but also plenty of opportunities, and your continued resilience, flexibility and dedication have inspired us all. We've had to embrace more digital ways of working, and we're truly grateful for everything you've done to keep lessons and exams going. The Cambridge team has been very busy over the last 12 months, and we're seeing increased demand for our qualifications and learning products all over the world. And this year we've secured some important new recognition. We've had around 5.4 million entries for our exams. We've also delivered around 60 webinars that have reached well over 60,000 attendees, including teachers, parents and candidates. Sadly, we haven't been able to do much face-to-face training with you this year, but we have kept our webinars going and we've produced a series of training videos for you, which I hope you found useful. For us, the most significant milestone this year has been Cambridge University Press and Cambridge Assessment joining together to form a single global organisation. We're sure that by bringing learning and assessment together, we can offer you and your students even more support and a much more integrated solution from us. You'll be hearing more about this in the near future. I'd like to end by saying another big thank you once again for all your support in helping to deliver our mission, which is to help people learn English and prove their skills to the world. Thank you.
Okay, dear passengers, we are now ready to land in the first point of destination. Any guess which country we brought you to? If the weather cooperates, we should get a great view through the cabin window on your screen as we descend. And we are approaching its enigmatic India. Chennai, CAE Flight 2021 is requesting permission to land. Can anyone hear us there? Kevin? Namaste ji, Kevin.
Namaste, namaste. Hello, everybody from India, from Chennai. So excited to be here. Very good evening to everybody and a very, very warm welcome. And I'm here to take you on this flight to show you a few things about what we do in India. So I hope you can all hear me. And I am from the south of India. India is really big, and I'm from the south of India, from a place called as Chennai. And in case if you've been to India and you've been to the south, a very, very warm welcome. And what we say in South India, we say Vanakkam. And that's what I want to say to everybody today here. So I'm going to take you through a few traditions that we have in India. Well, you see this, since India is so big, we have the holidays is celebrated separately in Delhi in a different way, in Mumbai, in Goa, in Kolkata. But I want to tell you a little bit of our family traditions that we have and what we do over here in the holidays. So I'm just going to go to the next slide. So one of the beautiful things that we have in the holiday season is called as Christmas carol singing. Yeah. So what we do in at least in our community is that a few of our friends, we get together and we start maybe around 8 p.m. in the night, and we go from home to everybody's house and we sing Christmas carols. And this is accompanied by a Santa Claus and a guitarist. So we have a few traditional songs that we sing, like Go Tell It on the Mountain, Feliz Navidad, Hurry, Hurry Home. So some you may know of, some you may not be aware of. There's some local ones. But like you can see a picture, which is a very, very common, scenario in South India. I've been to carols almost every year. We go home to home. And yeah, people... because of our gesture, they give us a lot of food. They give us maybe a little wine, homemade wine, and also they give us money. And many times there is some charity that at the end of the day, whatever we collect, there is some charity that we actually go back and we help on the charity. So nobody does it, for their own personal gain. It's more sharing the Christmas joy, sharing the Christmas cheer around the place, and we go from hopping from house to house. And there are sometimes that we end up at 2, 3 in the morning, and we actually do this from the 15th or the 16th of December. It goes on until Christmas. So this is something that we've been doing since we are small. People will welcome us even though we knock their doors at 12:30 in the night, and they're happy to welcome us. So we do this as friends. We do this as a part of the church choir. We do this, and it's mostly done in the night, even though it's pretty cold. It's not as cold as Russia, let me tell you that. In the north of Delhi, north of India, Delhi now, it must be really cold, like maybe 10 or 12 or 15 degrees. But south, it just gets down to around 23, 24. Yeah. So that's something that, I would like to let you know. It's not very cold, but that's something which we really do over here. I mean, if I do have time, I can sing you a carol, but maybe I'll send a few to Alex and he can share it with you on the WhatsApp group. Yeah. The second one that we do over here is having a crib in every home, as well as a star. So this is very much a part of our Christmas celebration. So almost this crib is actually what we've done in my home last year, along with my kids. And this is something that we have another tradition that we do every year. So sometimes we have one star at home. Sometimes there are three, there are four. Currently in my house, there are 4 stars. In every window and every door, we actually have a star, which is outside. So that's something that we do, a part of the culture. But also on Christmas night, you'll be surprised to know that there are certain communities that actually burst crackers on Christmas night. Well, you may have heard only of Diwali crackers, but then also there are communities who burst crackers in the middle of the night just to celebrate the Christmas spirit around. So that's another tradition that we have back at home over here. Another tradition is that decorations at home, and it's always complete, with an Advent candle. I'm really not sure whether you have that over there in Russia, but an Advent candle, a lot of people's homes are very, very, it's a part of the tradition. We have an Advent candle that begins from Advent, and every week we light a candle, and then on Christmas we do. So we actually decorate the Advent candle. You can see that again. These are pictures from my home. I just opened my home for all of you to see it. So this is something that we actually do every year. It's an Advent candle, as well as there's a Christmas tree. And on the tree, many of us, we actually, from small, we actually write people who we really want to, wish well. We write their names and we hang it up on the tree. So that's my little family that you see over there. And so that's something that we have done. It's a Christmas tree, and a few people that we really want to wish well, we hang up their names on the Christmas tree, and that's a little bit of our home celebrations that we have. So this is something that we actually do every year. And let me tell you, there's a small secret, also a funny bit. In our culture, in South India, a lot of families actually, we buy new curtains for Christmas. So Christmas is the time, or the holiday season is the time we actually change our curtains at home. So if you see a new set for Christmas, you won't be surprised, because our parents would never do it, any time of the year. It's only at the end of the year we buy new curtains and we stitch. So that's actually a fun part that I wanted to share with you. And coming again on this great flight journey to India and to South India. So this is a tradition that we have every year, is where we make the cakes at home. So this, the recipe, actually, to be very honest with you, I'll be very sincere and cross my heart. My mom never shares the recipe with us. She has it in a book, which is handed over from her grandmother to her. And you can try to click a photograph, or you can try to do anything. She'll slowly take the book away. So this is something that it's a homemade recipe. So we call it as a rich plum cake. So this is made at home, and you can see my children indulging into it. This is a family thing that we actually do, every year. We make it ourselves at home. We make 2-3 cakes at home every year. Now, let me give you a simple, a small tip. Well, Russia is famous for vodka, but it's a tradition in our home that we soak the fruits in rum. Yeah. So if the cake is very nice, so if we are making cake this year, our fruits will be soaked in rum from last year. Yeah. So last year, as soon as Christmas is over, we buy the dry fruits, we cut it, we soak it in rum, and it soaks for the entire year. And then in Christmas, we make that plum cake. So now you know where it is. Now, there's another 2 things that I want to tell you, which is very, very, unique to us, is that the center picture is something called as kalkals. Yeah. So this is, you'll find this in every home for Christmas. It's called as kalkals, and on your extreme left, you find the ones which are like flowers. It's called as rose cookies. Yeah. So the first thing is called as rose cookies. The middle one is called as kalkals, and then you have our traditional cake that we have. So we make something called as a plum cake, we make something called as a seed cake, and we make something called as a country cake. So every cake has its own recipes. Every cake is very, very unique. And this is something that we make in every home. So if you see the kalkals, the reason it's shaped that way because we take the dough, we put it on the fork, and we roll it on the fork. So that's why you see it having that shape. And then we fry it. So sometimes we sprinkle sugar on it. Sometimes we just have it plain. So that's why it has those line marks that you see on it. And rose cookies, you have the mold. You dip it into the flour, and then you put it on hot oil, and there you have rose cookies. So this is another thing that we have over here in India. And I'm so happy to be with you. Wishing you all the very best. Have a beautiful season. Stay safe, and bye bye from India, and have a lovely holiday season. Over to you, Alex.
That's awesome, Kevin. Thank you so much for your hospitality and for refreshments for our passengers. Say hello to my beloved Indian team and give my love to your family. Happy holidays to you too.
Happy
Thank you.
Thank you,
holidays,
Kevin.
everybody. Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Enjoy your holidays. So,
Okay, dear passengers, we are approaching to another country, and now it's foggy Britain, though I'm not sure whether it is foggy today, but well, anyway. Hi, Catherine. Happy holidays. Can you see us on your radar?
Catherine.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Catherine. Over to you, our next Secret Santa.
Great, thank you. I don't quite know how I follow that. That was fantastic, what Kevin went through. Brilliant. I don't know if I'm going to be able to compete with India for Christmas traditions. Okay, so thank you, Yulia and team, and thank you to everybody who has joined. What a fantastic opportunity to share a bit more about our cultures and traditions at Christmas. Especially for me, as I'm from Wales, which is a part of the UK that isn't that well known. So first, a little bit about me. I am new to Cambridge and I joined in September. But although I'm new to Cambridge, I do bring over 20 years of experience in the industry. And prior to that, I trained with BMW in Munich. And originally, I was a primary school teacher in the UK. So I bring quite a lot with me. Therefore, from my teaching background, I will do a short quiz at the end just to check that everybody's been listening. Right, just move on to the next slide. Okay, so Wales. We speak a different language in Wales. We speak Welsh. So Happy Christmas in Welsh is Nadolig Llawen. So there's a little bit of learning as well. Where is Wales? I hear you ask. Everybody knows where England is, but Wales is not as well known. So if you look at the little map there, we are actually the orange segment that is to the west of the country. So that's Wales. And I've also put a few people on there that are from Wales. Does anybody know who any of those are? If you do know, do you want to type it in the chat if you've got any idea who those faces are? Anybody going to be brave and have a go? Not sure, I can't see anything. Okay, so the first one here singing away is Dame Shirley Bassey, and she's from Wales. Sir Anthony Hopkins, he is Welsh. And also I expected a few people to know the footballer. This is Gareth Bale, the footballer, and he is actually from Wales as well. So I just wanted to share those so that you know the calibre of people that come from Wales. Okay, and what else is Wales famous for? Not just the people that come from there. Some other interesting facts is that Wales has more castles per square mile than any other country in the world. They were built mainly to keep the English out, but the most of them are still standing today. And also in Wales, we have a lot of sheep. There are 4 times more sheep than people. So lots of sheep in the country. And one other fact as well that links us nicely into Christmas is that Dylan Thomas, the poet, also originates from Wales. And one of his most famous pieces of work is a poem called A Child's Christmas in Wales. And that is written from a young boy's perspective, depicting a very sort of nostalgic and simpler time. So it's very common in Wales at Christmas time to see an adaptation of this at the theatre or on the TV or even on the radio. So that's something from Wales. Okay, these pictures are covered up a little bit, but a big tradition from the village that I'm from is to put up a Christmas tree in the centre of the village square at Christmas time. You can't quite see the first picture, but the way that the process starts is that people from the town head out in the morning up to the forestry and they choose a tree and it gets cut down. Then it gets towed into the village square on the back of a tractor, usually. And then by the evening, the tree has been put up and it's all been lit. And then that's all ready for Christmas Eve, because you can see at the very base of the picture, Christmas Eve, a nativity scene is put under the tree. And then everybody from the town comes to gather around the tree on Christmas Eve. And a bit like Kevin talked about, we all sing Christmas carols, and it brings everybody together and it really gets everybody into the Christmas spirit. There's a lot of mulled wine that gets drunk at this time, and everybody goes home very happy and ready for Christmas Day. So that's a real tradition. Okay, I can't talk about Christmas traditions without mentioning food, obviously. So in Wales, like the rest of the UK, it's very traditional to have a roast turkey, pigs in blankets, which are the little sausages wrapped in bacon. We have roast potatoes, roast vegetables, red cabbage, and everybody has Brussels sprouts. Nobody likes Brussels sprouts, everybody hates them, but it is tradition that you must have Brussels sprouts for Christmas lunch, so we still do that. And then Christmas dinner is then followed by a Christmas pudding, which is covered in brandy and set alight. And then hopefully Yulia will be able to share a little video with you, which tells you a little bit more about Christmas puddings. And this has come from my children's school. They created this last week, so I thought it was too good not to share.
Yes, sir. He wants extra flames.
Whatever took you so long?
Brilliant. That's really an Oscar nominee for this year, I believe.
Great. I'm not sure that I would have wanted to eat that Christmas pudding after that, but I know the kids had a lot of fun making that. Okay. And something that is very traditional as well throughout the UK is after you've had your Christmas lunch, you have to go and sit on the sofa and relax. The Queen's speech comes on at 3 p.m. So every Christmas Day, 3 o'clock, you have to sit down to watch the Queen's speech. That's, good manners for everybody to be quiet to listen to that. And then after that, there is a choice of quite terrible old films, and you have to watch one. These are very traditional as well, and you sit and eat chocolate and you watch your Christmas movie and you relax. So that's very much a tradition as well. Okay, just quickly before I finish up, a couple of quiz questions to see if anybody can remember what I was talking about. And again, if you want to pop it in the chat, can anybody remember in Wales, how many sheep are there to people? Has anybody got any idea? Oh, well done, straight away. Lots of you coming in with 4. Well done, top marks. Next question. When you have your Christmas pudding on Christmas Day and you want to set it alight, what do you cover it in before you set it alight? What must you pour all over it? Oh, straight away, brandy. Yes, it is not vodka, it is not rum, it is brandy in the UK. Well done. And last question, when we sit down on the sofa Christmas afternoon, what time do we need to be ready for to listen to the Queen's speech? What time does the Queen's speech come on? Brilliant, 3 p.m. Well done. Everybody was listening, top marks. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening, and hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a very happy 2022. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you. That was really awesome, especially the video. Say hello to your kid and say hello to the school.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, dear friends. The next country on our map is romantic France. Bonjour, Cécile.
Bonjour,
Ça va?
Cécile.
Bonjour, dear passengers, bonjour. We are now flying over the Eiffel Tower. And are you ready to land in France? So my name is Cécile, and I am working in the Paris team. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the traditions for Christmas in France. On the first slide. Christmas in France. So there is a lot, as you will see, about decoration and about food, of course. Next slide. Yeah, so the first thing is that we set up nativity scenes called crèche, and they have clay figures in them. Some towns, cities have a true specialty with cribs, like in Provence. And I can show you mine, by the way, which is a nice crib, blue crib, as you can see, coming from Provence as well. I like this blue scene, which I bought near Marseille. They are very fun figures there, priests, butchers, bakers, even policemen, or even actors, let's say. You can find Johnny Hallyday or Alain Delon in your crib, in some fun cribs. Otherwise, the big tradition here is, of course, the meal, the Christmas meal, called Réveillon. So this is what we eat on the 24th, normally after people have returned from the midnight church service. And the dishes that we might have include oyster, include foie gras. By the way, I have my foie gras ready to cook it. So I'm going to cook it for next week. So foie gras, smoked salmon, what we call boudin blanc, kind of sausages, sometimes with truffles inside, mushrooms, truffles, snails, very typical from here, roast turkey with chestnuts. Not with Brussels sprouts, Catherine, in France. Brussels sprouts are for the canteen, everyday lunch, which kids hate as well, and cheeses. And for dessert, we have a chocolate sponge cake in the shape of a log, and it's called the bûche, either usually with chocolate. Another tradition is on the 6th of January. Otherwise, well, now it's more the first Sunday of January, and we celebrate Epiphany. So we eat a flat almond cake. It's called the galette des rois, and there is a little clay toy inside called the fève. And the one who gets the fève becomes the king and uses the pepper crown and can choose their queen, or vice versa, a queen that will choose a king. So mainly these are the traditions, and I'm really excited about all that for next week and the week after. Now I have some questions. I have a little quiz for you. So it's something that he didn't say. So it's either you know or you don't know this. Do you know who brings the presents to the kids on the morning of the 25th in France? Is it a girl angel? Is it Saint Nicholas? Or is it Father Christmas? Aha, that's a tricky one, because it's yes, Marina, it's Papa Noel. It's not at all it's not at all Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas is for, let's say, Germany, Switzerland, the Netherlands, but in France it's Father Christmas. It's the Père Noël. Next slide, Julia, please. Yeah, so the Père Noël comes with the reindeers on the sleigh, and during the night of the 24th to the 25th, and everybody, adults, children, everybody puts their shoes under the tree, and even sometimes with some sugar cubes plus a carrot for the reindeers. And the morning on the 25th, everybody with pajamas will open their presents, and the kids and even old people who used to be kids sing Petit Papa Noël, that song that you may know. Petit Papa Noël, quand tu descendras du ciel, n'oublie pas mes petits souliers. And of course, next slide, the kids write their letter to the Père Noël. So La Poste, so the mail service in France. They even have a website where children can post their letters with all their the list of gifts they are expecting, or they can send it. There is a special department at the mail service who will answer the letters from the kids. These are our traditions in France.
That's
Merci,
wonderful,
Cécile.
Cécile. Thank you
Thank
so much.
Merci,
Thank you.
merci for
Well,
welcoming me, having me. Thank
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 you for
you.
you.
All
joining
the
us.
best to you and to your beloved ones. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And our next secret Santa is Luisa Zhao from a sunny Portugal. Hi, Luisa. Happy holidays. Oh my
Hello.
God.
Everyone. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah, and
can.
can
Bom
see
dia.
quite a lot. Yeah.
Bon dia. And I'm sorry, I'm in sunny Brazil, so it is like a Portuguese speaking Christmas. Not just in Portugal, but in the countries that are related to to our traditions, and Brazil is very much part of our history. I'm very, very happy to be with you today from sunny Brazil, Florianopolis, where the weather is amazing, and it will be my first warm Christmas with my family, so I'm very excited. And I have some things to share with you. I'm amazed with everything that has been shared today. Really, really interesting and fun, and also special. So really well done for having this session. In Portugal, we love Christmas. We love celebrating. We love parties. It's a very small country, 10 million inhabitants, but really small territory. Traditions are it's a homogeneous country where we all are, most of us, more than 90% of the population, I could say over 95% is Catholic. So our traditions are very much related to the Catholic celebration. In Portugal, it's the baby Jesus who traditionally brings the presents, not Santa Claus. That's something more recent. We go to church on the 24th, people that are Catholic. And if you move to the first slide, Julia. Oh, yes, that's just. I also want to share some words with you. So, Natal in Portugal, that's how we say Christmas, Natal. Natal means birth also, so it's the birth of our baby Jesus. And this is a picture of beautiful Praça do Comércio in Lisbon with one of our most traditional places to have the Christmas tree. Next slide, Julia, thank you. So, of course, we have a lot of traditions that are not related to food. The nativity, of course, singing carols too, being with the family basically, and related to the Christian and Catholic traditions. But it is food. It's about food. Everyone wants Christmas because of the food. And of course, the main dish and the center of our celebration is our bacalhau, our codfish. So bacalhau, on the 24th, we have our consoada, our dinner, early dinner that we have traditionally before going to church. And according to the Catholic tradition, it's not we're not allowed to eat meat before 12 o'clock, before midnight. So we have beautiful codfish that is dried codfish that we need to soak for 2 days and then boil it with vegetables, potatoes, loads of olive oil. And we have it before going to church. And then after church, we can start eating all the sweets and all the meat too, which normally is turkey or pork or lamb. Bacalhau is very important in Portugal. It was brought by our explorers in the 16th century when they started exploring the northern seas. It became the main dish in Portugal during the 19th century and early 20th century. Portugal was a very poor country. it wasn't easy to get fish to everyone, and codfish was dried, so it was easy to transport and easy to get to the inner part of Portugal, which is not really far from the sea. You can never get more than 200 kilometers away from the sea, but in those times, roads were not so good. So this is what was a great way to give fish to people that couldn't afford or even find fresh fish. And it became the center of our culture. Everyone knows that codfish is important in Portugal, and that's what we have for our 24th. Next slide. Then the most important thing for me is the desserts part. There is, because of our, again, very Catholic tradition and the monasteries and this tradition of cooking. I think I'm saying tradition too much, but it's all about tradition today. Cooking very sweet desserts. We have more than 20 possible desserts that we can cook, or even more. And I would say that a normal family would have at least 10. You start eating them on the 24th, and then they last for 2-3 days because you have the whole family. Everyone comes to visit and eats. And I love rabanadas. Rabanadas is probably one of the early sweets that we have memory. It's basically bread soaked in milk and egg, and then with a sweet sauce. It was originally given to women after they gave birth because they're very nutritious. And they were a favorite of some of our kings, so they became part of our celebrations. And naturally, the biggest night of the year, sorry if you hear noise, biggest night of the year naturally included this very special sweet that was also brought to Brazil, and they also eat it here. They call it paridas because of this relationship to birth, because parir is give birth. So rabanadas, these are my favorite ones, and we will definitely make some here. And connected to what Cécile said, galette de roi, we brought this tradition from France. One of our kings loved it and decided to introduce it in the Portuguese cuisine. We eat it also initially at Epiphany, but then it just became a favorite for the whole celebration. And the funny thing about a galette de roi that we call bolo rei, exactly the same meaning, the king cake. When we became a republic in 1910, there was a movement to, not on social media because it didn't exist, but lots of people wanted to change the name of the cake because they thought it shouldn't be called king now that we became a republic. But then eventually this sweet tradition and the name of it was kept for the sake of being neutral and not political. And that's it from me, I think.
Thank you, Luisa.
It
I
was
believe
it
all
was
our
very good.
passengers took notes of everything you said because it was quite amusing. So many
Thank you
facts
very
we
much.
knew today. Thank you. Enjoy your time off and happy holidays to you and to your family.
Happy holidays. Enjoy your Christmas. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Luisa.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, dear friends. And the last wonderful place we want you to visit today is picturesque Argentina. And we're giving floor to our colleague Lucila Marquez, who will also share some facts about their local traditions, Christmas traditions.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me. It is a pleasure to be here sharing some of the traditions from my country. So let's start the show then. If you want to go to the next slide. Or do I, oh, I manage that. That's right. I'd forgotten. Right. First thing I want to say is that it is very hot in December. My colleague from Portugal was now in Florianopolis. It's a lovely place, by the way. So if anybody can ever visit, you should. Beautiful beaches, all it's a small island with lots of different kinds of beaches. I've been there a couple of times and I love it. But it is also very hot in Argentina. So even though we keep to many of the Northern Hemisphere traditions, such as having Santa Clauses around different places, in shopping malls where kids can go and take their letter, you know, with the presents that they'd like to receive in Christmas. They're dressed like that. They're dressed like they would dress in Russia or in England. And it can be up to 30 degrees or even more, or 30 degrees centigrade. So it is a very hot summer. It is a very hot time of the year for us. This was the weather on Christmas Eve in 2020. So where I live, which is here in Buenos Aires, they say it was 29 degrees in the evening, and we had up to 34, 39 degrees, depending on which area of the country you were in. So very warm Christmases. But we do eat a lot. One tends to eat less when it's Christmas, when it's hot. But here for Christmas, we make you know, we just say, oh, okay, we'll just have to eat. We're okay with that. So we tend to have, traditionally, roast turkey. We love roast turkey with different kinds of sauces. And that, I'm speaking, of course, we always speak about from our own personal histories, don't we? So my family is very keen on this. Roast turkey and salads. We love all kinds of salads. And there is also another dish called vitel toné, which is cooked meat, just cooked in the oven, but we slice it very thinly and spread it out on a big tray, and it goes in a lovely sauce that has based on mayonnaise, but also has a little bit of cream and some anchovies, and it's really delicious. So if you ever can try vitel toné, go ahead and do that. We also are very famous for our barbecues. So I'm sorry there's very many vegetarians in this call, but we are famous for our barbecues. The meat in Argentina is very good. So we do, if we have the opportunity to have a barbecue, if you are spending Christmas in a house with a barbecue, then we tend to put something there as well. And unlike Portugal, I don't think we have that many traditional desserts. Maybe we do a few. Bolo rei we have, but we tend to eat that in when it's in the 6th of January for Reyes, we call it. But we do have lots of nougat and nuts and chocolates as desserts in Christmas, and ice cream as well to counterbalance all that. Not the calories, but the warmth that these kinds of elements of these kinds of food bring. It is also we are basically a Catholic country, so we do have church services on the 24th that people attend, and there is what we call Misa de Gallo. It would be literally translated, it would be like rooster mass. Mass is mass at midnight, exactly at midnight. So some families have dinner, go to church, and when they come back, Father Christmas has come round and left the presents under the Christmas tree. So it is. Then there's other families that don't go to mass, don't go to church at night, and they just stay at home. But still, we all wait until midnight to open our presents, even in homes when there's very little kids. Of course, if it's a 1 or 2 year old, he'll probably go to sleep before 12. But if it's a 3 or 4 year old, we many times they wait until midnight and get all excited. And sometimes some families will open the little kids' presents a little bit earlier. It is a very family-oriented celebration. That's my friend Anik's, my colleague Anik's family a couple of Christmases ago when we didn't have COVID, and so people got together very often, much more, or many more people got together under the same place. And we do always have fireworks as well, so we watch out for the fireworks. Not like in Sydney where you would go to Harbour Bridge to watch the fireworks celebration, but it's like all around the city and all around the suburbs, people just throw fireworks from home. We are, I must say, slowing down on this or cutting down on this because of pets and because of children with different or grown-ups with certain syndromes like autism, that they really get very, very upset. So there's massive campaigns these last few years, and there is less and less fireworks as years go by. This is still Anik's family because she said she shared these photos with me, and they all dress up in Christmassy colors that year. But even Fofa and Lola, the dogs, got dressed up for the occasion that time. And then this is my family. My family is a large family. These are my cousins. In my cousins' large family, I've got 4 cousins. They're all married and they all have 4 kids or something of the sort. They always get together. They have a big farm outside the city, quite about 200 kilometers or 300 kilometers away from here, and they tend to pass Christmas there as a group. Their tradition is that one of them dresses up as Father Christmas every year because they still have young kids to take presents to, and they believe in Santa. So on the left of the screen is my cousin dressed up as Father Christmas, as Santa Claus, and one of the little kids who caught sight of Father Christmas and went running after him. He wanted to catch him before she gave out the presents, and it was really, really funny because she had to sort of run away, because if he'd caught her, that would have been the end of I Believe in Santa. And then another year, my other cousin just came in on horseback, which kids were thrilled and fascinated with. So they're quite funny, actually. And then we've got all the New Year's traditions. That there is my crazy family. That's part of my siblings. There's 7 of us, 2 of whom live in New Zealand. And sometimes we are lucky and either one of us can go and spend Christmas in New Zealand, or other times, in this case, my sister Vicky and her husband William had come to Buenos Aires for Christmas. That was Christmas. That was New Year's the beginning of 2018. We have adopted a very Brazilian tradition, which is we all dress in white for New Year's. Not every family in Argentina does, but very many do. And this is typically from Brazil. In Brazil, they dress up, everybody dresses in white. Brazilians know what color to have, like a little accessory or a headband or something around your wrist of the color of the year that is going to start. We don't have that. We don't know what color people in Brazil think is next year's color. So we just dress in white. And some things that different people do at midnight on the 31st of December, so that on the 12th stroke, they are standing on a chair, and when the clock strikes 12, they will leap into the new year, landing on the right foot, so that they start the new year on the right foot. We also eat 12 grapes many times. Some people do something that I find very funny. At 12, they open the door and they sweep outwards, so that they sweep out everything that was wrong with the year that's leaving, and allow the good things to come in. So I think I don't do that, but it is quite funny. And then some other people also light 12 candles at midnight. With each stroke, you light 1 candle, so that the year starts full of white light and good vibes, I would say, in a way. And that's it from me from Argentina. This was the way me and my family celebrate these holidays.
Thank you, Lucila. Today I'm wearing white, so I think it looks like Christmas in Argentina.
Yes, exactly. I'm wearing red and some green as well, and my earrings are Christmas decorations from my Christmas tree.
Oh, looks amazing. Thank you very much for sharing your Christmas traditions in your country. That was really great. Very, very interesting.
And thank you
Thank
for
you.
the opportunity to meet your large, jolly, and funny family as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Olga, for that lovely wish. And I hope that everybody, we all leap into the new year on our right foot and with the best things for next year.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
you.
Lucilla. Thank you.
It was really a wonderful and unforgettable journey today. We just understood, everyone understood that though we eat different food, we have some different traditions, but the tricks with Santa for kids are the same everywhere. Poor kids.
Poor kids.
Thank you so much. So, dear passengers, we are currently cruising at an altitude of 33,000 feet at an airspeed of 400 miles per hour. The weather looks good, and with the tailwind on our side, we are expecting to land back at home in approximately 10 minutes. To keep you awake during the final approach and landing, which is very important in terms of safety measures, our cabin crew have prepared a short quiz for you to check how well you are acquainted with our organization. Please pay attention to the screen. So sit back, relax, but stay awake.
Yes. So,
Oops, just a second. So, of course, all of you know the University of Cambridge and its 8 centuries long rich history and achievements. And I'm sure you all are familiar with this famous trademark. This coat of arms was granted to the University of Cambridge by the Crown in 1573. First of all, what elements can you see there? You know, sometimes people see quite different things. Please share your guesses in the chat box.
I can see some ideas already in the chat box. Lion, lions,
Everyone sees
for
lions.
lions,
Okay.
cross, good. A book,
Mhm.
yes, exactly. There is a book, cross.
And even an eye. Okay, dragons. Some see dragons, crosses. Perfect. Well done. Most of the elements can be seen. So these are lions, book, and ermine. Now, which one do you think represents royal patronage of Cambridge University? Lions, book, or ermine? Brilliant. Most of the attendees of today's quiz say lions, and it's really true. Lions, it's one of the main elements of the royal family coat of arms. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So here is a short answer for you and even a motto. Translation from Latin: from this place we gain enlightenment and precious knowledge. And the next question is from our colleagues at Cambridge University Press. Which kind of books did a royal charter granted by Henry VIII in 1534 allow Cambridge University Press to print and start its long history? Bibles, dictionaries, all manner of books, educational literature.
So, your ideas. I see Bibles. I see dictionaries. So, any other? All manner of books.
Yeah. Quite a tricky question.
Dictionaries,
Opinions
Bibles,
are quite different.
all manner of books. Nobody chose D, I think.
Mhm.
The most popular answers are A, B, C.
Okay, and the right answer is all manner of books. So they were granted the chance to print everything. And the story began at that particular year. The story began for Cambridge University Press. Okay, so CUP counts its history from 1534. Examinations Department, originally called University of Cambridge Local Examination Syndicate, was founded much later in 1858, and our first exam took place in 1913. Do you know which exam it was and how long it lasted?
Mhm. A. First certificate in English, B2. B. Certificate in Advanced English, C1 Advanced. And C. Certificate of Proficiency in English, C2 Proficiency. So, what do you think? I see different answers. A, B, C. And the right one is, the correct answer is
It was Certificate of Proficiency in English, or as it was called previously, CPE, and the exam was over 12 hours long. Such a challenge for exam takers.
how many candidates passed the exam? Any
The-
ideas in the chat box? 3 candidates took the exam, and how many of them passed it successfully?
After 12 hours of
After
challenging.
12 hours, exactly. No, unfortunately, no, not 3. After 12 hours, 0, no 1. That's right, yes.
But that was only the beginning. Okay, dear friends, the quality of our exams and the positive impact we have depends on the work of a huge number of professionals. They include authorized examination centers, registered preparation centers, and tens of thousands of examiners, teachers, and publishers. Can you guess the amount of this network? Let's start with exam centers. So, how big is our global network of exam centers? Most of you are absolutely correct. Thank you so much. There are over 2,800 authorized exam centers providing Cambridge English exams worldwide. We are committed to making sure we offer the highest security and quality to safeguard the fairness of our tests. Now, what about preparation centers like you are?
I'm sure there are lots of our exam preparation centers today in this webinar. So how many of them, how many institutions prepare students for our exams? A, B, C, or D?
And again, most people are correct. It's really 50,000 of preparation centers all around the globe. So these are our dedicated heroes who, despite of all the current challenges, keep helping students learn English and prove their skills to the world. Once again, million of thanks to all of you for your commitment.
Next
Depending on the amount of achievements, our preparation centers fall into 3 status groups. Which of the categories listed here does not exist?
In 2021, we introduced a new loyalty scheme for our exam preparation centers. And as we all know, now we have 3 categories of our partners of our exam preparation centers. Which category doesn't exist? Leader, ambassador, advocate, or champion? Doesn't exist. This is a tricky question. And the right answer is C, advocate. We don't have this category. According to our new loyalty scheme, the exam preparation centers are divided into 3 groups. The first one is champions. These schools prepare from 25 to 49 candidates a year. Leaders prepare from 50 to 99 candidates. And ambassadors prepare more than 100 candidates a year. So,
Just a note, Julia, not just prepare, but register them for exams.
yes, exactly, yes. Prepare and register candidates for Cambridge English qualifications.
Great, well done. Recognition of our exams is one of the main aspects. Can you guess its current level, dear friends?
How many organizations recognize Cambridge English qualifications? 5,000, 25,000, 50,000, or 100,000? So, and the correct answer is
Cambridge English exams are recognized by over 25,000 universities, employers, and governments around the world. Our English language tests can open doors to higher education, improve employment opportunities, and because they are globally recognized, can increase candidates' choices for study or work.
and we are really proud of the fact that in Russia, the number of recognizing organizations is growing, and that's really, really great and fantastic fact for us. So the next question is...
And we are also happy to have some widely famous companies among our partners, and we are doing our best to broaden our circle of cooperation. So, which of the listed organizations is not yet our partner? What do you think?
Again, very tricky question. Is not our partner Kahoot,
Yet.
Minecraft, Lego, or Pizza? Any ideas?
It looks like people know us very, very well.
Yes.
So, Kahoot has teamed up with Cambridge Assessment English to launch a series of games that young learners can play to prepare for young learners' exams. In collaboration with Minecraft, we have created English Adventures with Cambridge, a story-driven language learning resource. Foreign language skills will be assessed as an optional component of the international PISA evaluation of education systems. Tests will be developed by Cambridge Assessment English under a partnership with OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So for now, we do not have any joint campaigns and joint projects only with Lego, but everything, well, nothing is impossible, and we are looking forward to cooperate with them as well. Thank you so much for your answers.
Thank you.
All the question papers your students get on the exam day are printed in our distribution centers, DC10 and DC20 in Cambridge. These are almost 9 square kilometer facility that accommodate 9 kilometers of racking and house of all of our printing, warehousing, and distribution needs. So what do you think the amount of annual printing is, despite of all COVID-19 challenges?
40 million, 70 million, 100 million, or 500 million?
Okay, so who was right? 40 million are annually printed and shipped directly to our authorized exam centers. Now, how many countries do you think these exam materials are dispatched to?
We remember that we have 2,800 exam centers, authorized exam centers. In how many countries? A, B, C, or D?
The most frequent answer is B, and it's absolutely correct. We are sorry, no, not this way. We are presented in more than 170 countries all around the globe, an extremely vast spread which keeps us busy all the year through. And the last guess for today, just for those of you, just to check how attentive you were at the very beginning of our meeting today. So, one of the listed words has been announced as the Word of the Year 2021 based on data from searches of the free online Cambridge Dictionary. So which do you think is the word? Determination, persistence, perseverance, or single-mindedness?
This word describes our teachers, learners, exam centers, exam preparation centers, and our team, Cambridge Assessment English and Cambridge University Press team. So
Okay, perhaps not all of you joined at the very beginning of this meeting. So that's true. Perseverance, which is defined by Cambridge Dictionary as continued effort to do or achieve something, even when this is difficult or takes a long time, has been looked up more than 243,000 times during 2021 by people across the globe. So we are sure perseverance is a particularly appropriate word for all of you, dear friends. When people teach or learn English, it's so much more than just memorizing words and phrases. It takes a lot of motivation and constant practice. So thank you once again for your continued hard work and commitment to the success of your colleagues and students. Okay, so this was the last question. So now we are approaching to the end of our journey. So we hope you enjoyed the quiz. We are now ready to land back at home, and I pass over the mic to our captain.
So, dear ladies and gentlemen, we have just been cleared to land at Cambridge Christmas Airport. And now it's time to announce the winners of our Instagram challenge, Cambridge Resolutions 2020. This Instagram online contest was announced on our Instagram, Cambridge English Rus. So before I announce the winners, I'd like to remind you, let me share my screen. I'd like to show you the video that we created for you. So just a second. I hope you can see my screen. So,
Dear exam centres, dear preparation centres, we promise you to try something outside of the box. We'll be creative and think of a new project you've never tried before.
Dear colleagues, dear teachers, we promise to support your passion to professional development and to support your desire to become better teachers, to provide new, exciting, and free teacher trainings to you.
Dear learners, we promise to make your exam preparation more exciting with our wide range of online materials and games. And we promise to celebrate your success with you when you get your Cambridge certificate.
Dear friends, we promise to inspire and support you. English improves people's lives. It's about living the life you want. It's not just about an exam, it's about your dreams. And we promise to be with you every step of the way.
So we created the video and shared our resolutions, our promises. The idea of this Instagram challenge was to listen to your great ideas. And we received lots of videos from you, so you can see that there are lots of different videos from teachers and learners. And we would like to thank you for sharing your promises and your plans for the next year. So together with my colleagues, we have chosen 10 winners. So the names are now on the screen. Please have a look. 10 winners, 10 learners and teachers who recorded their videos for us. So the winners will receive a present from Cambridge Assessment English. We will contact these people shortly, and the souvenir will be sent to your home address. So like a Christmas present from Santa Claus, Ded Moroz, Père Noël, all these great characters. So thank you very much for taking part in this activity. That was really great. And I think that's it from my side.
Congratulations and stand ovation to the winners. Dear Captain.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moscow Airport. Local time is 6:15 and the temperature is +2. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. On behalf of Cambridge Assessment English Airlines and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice evening. That was really a great pleasure to see you all today, to listen to you. Thanks a lot for my dear colleagues, our Marketing Support Manager, Julia, and Customer Support Manager, Alexander, for providing such a wonderful trip to Christmas, to our future Christmas, to our future together with you, dear colleagues and dear friends. Thanks a lot and see you again.
Thank you. See you next year.
Happy holidays to everyone. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Bye bye.